Today's video takes us directly to Pokrovsk, where a Ukrainian reconnaissance drone records two Russian soldiers crossing an open field. From above, every step is visible, every movement impossible to hide. What might look like a routine walk is already a serious mistake, because once in the open, they are exposed and their presence is no longer a secret. And now we see Ukrainian forces sending an FPV drone directly after these soldiers. The two try desperately to fight back, firing in panic, but their efforts fail. One of them attempts to break into a run, hoping speed will save him. Instead, the drone closes in, and that brief sprint becomes the very last run of his life. After the first strike, the Russian soldier is shown lying motionless on the ground. At first glance, he looks as if the impact has already ended everything. His body remains still, and for a moment it seems that the fight is over. But Ukrainian forces know better. In the chaos of battle, appearances can be deceiving. A motionless figure could still recover or even pose a hidden threat. To remove any doubt, a second FPV drone is sent directly toward him. The approach is steady and deliberate, closing the distance without hesitation. There is no chance for movement, no opportunity to resist. The drone strikes with precision, confirming the result beyond question. What remains after the impact leaves no uncertainty. The target is neutralized completely, and the scene speaks for itself. After the first target was eliminated, Ukrainian forces turned their attention to the second soldier lying nearby. At first glance, he appeared lifeless, stretched out on the ground as if the previous explosions had already finished him. In reality, he was still unharmed. Perhaps he thought that remaining motionless would convince the drones to pass over him, that by pretending to be dead, he might save himself. But such tricks cannot fool Ukrainian operators. The reconnaissance drone maintained its watchful view, transmitting every detail to those controlling the attack. From above, it was obvious that the soldier was simply waiting, not gone. To remove all doubt, another FPV drone was launched directly toward him. The approach was steady and without interruption, closing the gap until the target filled the frame. Unlike a moving soldier, this one offered no resistance, no chance of escape. The strike connected cleanly, finishing what had begun. In the end, the result speaks clearly. The slow-motion replay shows exactly what happened, leaving no uncertainty about the outcome. This next sequence is even more dramatic than the previous one. At the start, we can clearly see a Russian soldier, positioned under a flag, unaware that he is already being watched. Suddenly, a Ukrainian FPV drone approaches and explodes close to him. However, by chance, the charge does not fully detonate. The soldier scrambles up quickly and sprints a short distance before collapsing again into the grass, believing that lying low will save him from what is coming. Only moments later, a second drone is released. It closes in, forcing him to get up and run once more. The strike lands nearby, but again does not completely finish him. Trying to escape, the soldier turns and runs back across the field. He falls into the grass a second time, but now another FPV drone has already locked onto him. The next strike is direct, hitting with force. Even after this, the soldier clings to life. Wounded and exhausted, he crawls to a new spot, but his injuries make further escape impossible. Finally, he collapses for the last time. As the footage shows, the delayed charge from the very first strike also detonates after the final impact, triggered by the shockwave, leaving no doubt that his fate is sealed.
Why do Russian soldiers go to war? The answer is simple: for money. This man, like many others, entered the battlefield chasing payment. Yet the money he sought could not protect him here. Watching his fate raises the real question: are those few bills truly worth the price of a life lost?
Now, in this segment, you will see a display of pure skill and professionalism by an FPV drone operator. The footage shows a drone approaching a helicopter, and right beside the point of impact stands a Russian soldier. Within seconds, the strike connects, and we watch as the helicopter begins to fall from the sky. Why is this such a brilliant operation? because FPV drones are not as fast as helicopters, and their range is usually much shorter. Under normal circumstances, matching a drone against a helicopter would seem impossible. Yet in this case, the pilot managed to guide the drone perfectly, proving that precision and planning can overcome such challenges. The financial contrast makes the achievement even greater. For the cost of a single FPV drone, perhaps $2,000, Ukrainian operators destroyed a helicopter worth between $4 and $9 million. Along with the aircraft itself, several crew members were eliminated. Truly outstanding work by the FPV unit. And here we have additional footage, this time captured directly from the ground. The camera follows the helicopter as it loses control and begins to fall, smoke trailing behind it as it descends. From this perspective, the size of the machine and the scale of the destruction are even clearer. What had looked like a distant explosion in the air now becomes a powerful reminder of the precision and impact of that FPV strike. Riding away on a motorcycle may look like a way to escape, but against an FPV drone, the odds are stacked heavily against the rider. This sequence proves the point in full detail. At the beginning, the Ukrainian drone closes the distance with surprising ease. It dives directly toward the soldier and even collides with his helmet. By pure chance, the charge does not detonate. Yet the drone remains in the air, circling with persistence, a reminder that the chase is far from finished. The operator regains control and makes a sharp turn, accelerating again. The drone catches up quickly, and in the process, we see a remarkable image. The motorcyclist, struggling to keep control, hits a rise in the ground. He lifts briefly into the air, only to crash down hard, his bike sliding out beneath him. It is a dramatic fall, captured perfectly on camera. But the operator does not assume the mission is over. He circles, evaluates the scene, and notices that the soldier, though shaken, is still present on the ground. Another run begins. This time, the strike is final. The drone closes in, eliminating the rider with precision. The closing frames leave no doubt. Another man who came for money finds that no payment can buy survival here. What do you do when your tank or armored vehicle has been struck? In this footage, we see exactly that situation. An FPV drone lands a successful hit, damaging the vehicle but not stopping its forward movement. Smoke rises as it continues rolling across the field. Suddenly, members of the crew make a desperate choice. They leap from the still-moving machine, hitting the ground and running toward the nearest cover. From above, the scene looks chaotic. A burning vehicle driving without control, soldiers scattering in panic, unsure whether to escape or turn back. The machine itself is abandoned, left to move forward on its own. Most likely, it was later destroyed completely or captured where it came to a halt. As for the crew, their attempt to flee seems just as futile as staying inside. This segment offers one of the clearest demonstrations of how FPV drones dominate infantry on the battlefield. From the drone's eye view, every move is visible. Russian soldiers scattered across open ground, trying to flee, trying to survive. They sprint in short bursts, dive into ditches, roll into the grass, convinced that speed or stillness might confuse the operator. But an FPV drone cannot be tricked so easily. The footage begins with several soldiers running in formation across a wide field. The drone approaches steadily, its buzzing engine closing the distance second by second. One soldier throws himself flat into the grass, remaining motionless, as if pretending to be dead will save him. The pilot adjusts calmly, hovering directly above, forcing him back onto his feet. In another clip, soldiers scatter in different directions, hoping the chaos will hide them. Instead, the aerial perspective highlights their panic, making them stand out more clearly than before. We see more attempts, crawling through trenches, sprinting to tree lines, or laying in tall grass to break line of sight. Each maneuver is followed patiently. The drone circles, waits, then dives with precision. No matter what tactic they choose, the result is the same. They are still in view, still being hunted. The pursuit feels less like a conventional battle and more like a hunt. The soldiers are prey, exhausted and exposed. The drones are the hunters, relentless and methodical. By the final minutes of the montage, one thing is unmistakable. On this battlefield, there is no escape, no safe route, and no shelter. The sky belongs entirely to the drones. And that concludes today's episode. We've seen once again how Ukrainian FPV drones dominate the battlefield with precision, skill, and persistence. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Your support helps us create more content. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next release.